for News, the edition coming to you on March 9th, 2026. Coming to us, along with me, Brian Edwards, is Leah Haydu, the American Bird. How are you? Thank you very much for that. Yep. That was beautiful. Coming to us from across the pond, but only a 4-hour time difference this time, just for about a couple weeks, is the British peregrine falcon, Rich Davison. How are you?
Yeah, that's me.
What they sound like? I don't know. I'm not a nature person.
It's not quite as majestic as the bald eagle, I'm sure. Yeah,
True.
but
any bird bigger than a seagull to me makes the Assassin's Creed eagle noise. Like that's how in my head. Like any bird bigger than a pigeon or a
seagulls
seagull.
Are terrifying. Have you?
Yeah.
When was the last time you were at the shore? I had one of those bastards try and steal something from me once. I thought I was going to have to run away.
Do not try to eat an ice cream cone while walking around those things. They will just straight up take your shit.
New Jersey seagulls in particular, those bitches are vicious.
Yeah, they shout racial slurs at you while they do it.
Like that, it's intimidating.
Oh man. So we're here with the news this week. Before we get into story one, I'm just going to tell everybody to go check out our YouTube channel. I started doing something over there that I'm calling Retro Rodeo, only because I didn't have a better name for it, where, much like our Character Issues podcast, I'm going to play and rank every single game that came out from the Atari 2600 to the Nintendo 64, a project that I'm super going to finish.
Okay.
Piece of piss, man. Yeah.
Only
it's
the Nintendo 64?
Jesus,
games. Brian.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, after that, you got to worry about ISOs and do you have the right version?
Yeah.
Of that? I didn't want
to
mess
all
with
right,
that.
Fair.
And also, I own all of the physical hardware, which was I'm playing it on. Obviously,
yes.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Your Honor.
What other option is there?
So you'll notice if you go to our YouTube Character Issues podcast over at YouTube, there's a playlist under there for Retro Rodeo. You'll see episode 0 is up there right now. It was kind of the first one where I was just kind of figuring some stuff out. And episode 1 will be coming out this Wednesday, which will be the 11th. And I think I'm going to try to stitch one together and put one out every Wednesday as long as I can take it. Yeah, that's basically all I got. I want you guys to come talk over some of those with me at some point, but I just got to figure that out.
Love
if you guys are willing, that is.
Yeah.
Threaten you by asking you that on a recording. But yeah, sure, Brian, of course, yeah.
I want you guys to do this if that's okay with you.
You have no power over me. That's a Labyrinth reference for the kids. We are going to move into the first story. And, Rich, I hate to point this directly at you, but I think on the last news show I said, we're recording our news podcast early. So without a doubt, tomorrow after we are done recording, the biggest story in video games is going to come out. And then quite literally the day after we recorded, Sony shuttered Bluepoint games.
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, this one stings, doesn't it? It really kind of hit the community in like a really hard way. I mean, where do we even pick this up? Like, there's so much to be like PO'd about. Like, there's real vitriol about everything.
I can start if you want, because I have mine is a very direct and very specific complaint, and it's that the news came out that Bluepoint had essentially said to Sony, "Yeah, we'll do a Bloodborne remaster or a remake. We can do that for you," and Sony said no.
Yeah.
Was it Sony or was it FromSoft?
No, it was From that said no.
Oh,
yeah, From
okay.
said no.
All right. Well, From said no, and that I don't think you know how sad that makes me.
I read, that there was like 14 other companies, and citation required, 14 other companies that came to FromSoft and said the exact same thing, and they've rejected every single one of them. But the reason this one stinks is because obviously it's the first credible indication that Bluepoint, a company that remade Demon's Souls, and in exceptional fashion, were kind of rejected on the basis, what God knows, whatever reason, only to be put on God of War fucking what's it called, live service game that never saw the light of day.
So that's going to be kind of a theme of what we're talking about today, and we'll kind of it's a lot. There's going to be a lot of crossover between story 2 and story 1 today. Because it does really make you wonder about service games in general. Obviously PlayStation historically, they came out with I believe with Jim Ryan, right, under his stewardship, we're gonna have no less than 7 service games, and obviously, since then we've had the Concord disaster, multiple studios shutting down, the canceling of this God of War multiplayer service game that you were talking about, and I will say that I'm definitely part of the problem here, in the fact that like when PlayStation bought Bluepoint or acquired Bluepoint, like all I thought was like, oh great, now they're gonna remake all of the PlayStation stuff. Like this is gonna be so fucking cool. Like my mind started spinning. I'm like, okay, does Bluepoint do Bloodborne? Does Bluepoint do fucking Ape Escape? You know what I mean? Do we get like a real take on Jack and Daxter the Precursor Legacy? You know, I'm like in my mind, I'm thinking of all these things they could do, and to hear that they were just put on a God of War service game. I mean, like, do you think they didn't know what they had? Do you think that Bluepoint wanted to do something different? But like, when you got the people that redid Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls, it's like,
I mean, I don't know. See how Sony could not know what they had, right? Like, I think that's what happened, but I don't see how, because, like you said, they have done these really well-received and, I think, profitable remakes. Citation needed there as well, because I don't actually know how profitable those were, but I never got the sense, at least, that critically either of these was anything less than just great. So, especially with the Bloodborne one, like, it hurts even more if it was FromSoft who said no, because they already did Demon Souls. Like, why? What was wrong with that? Like, I thought it was a really good remake. And just a good game in general for people who may not have gotten the chance to play Demon Souls when it first came out. Like, what would have been so wrong that would have been the outcome here? I just don't know. So yes, I think Sony didn't know what they had, but I think that that's a real failing on Sony's point, because they had tons of evidence to say this is what this studio is, this is what they do, and they're really good at it. So maybe let them do it.
Yeah. Now, Rich, I know you celebrate both the Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, and I know you're a big fan of the original and you like their version of it, and you're a pretty big fan of Demon Souls too, right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, like, so, like, just from, not that I'm specifically looking for your perspective as a real fan, because obviously Leah and I like those games too, but like, what were you anticipating from Bluepoint moving forward? Like, were you thinking the way that we were, that this was going to be kind of their remake studio, or were you hoping for like something new out of them? Did you have any expectations or not?
They're a studio that famously remade some actual like critical darlings. So if you look at, they made did some work on the Uncharted games. They did some work on the Metal Gear Solid collection back on the PS3, the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, and the upscaled version of the original Shadow of the Colossus remake with Ico on PS3, and then Demon Souls. So, like, this is a studio that had obviously a very good pedigree of remaking some absolutely darling games. Like, and actually, like, when we did the Shadow of the Colossus Kane and Rinse way back when, and the Demon Souls Kane and Rinse, like, one of the points that I was quick to make was the way that they make games is really interesting, because what's happening is obviously they're kind of making games from the ground up, but based on existing code, of course. So what this approach tells us is that they're really good at taking like off-the-shelf components, lifting and shifting code from one place to another, doing things under a budget with tight constraints. That's a really interesting methodology of making games in this day and age. When you put it alongside the likes of Ghost of Yotei, where the development budget was probably about 60 million, and then add another X amount of £1 million stroke dollars on the marketing budget, like, technically this should be a much leaner way of creating games and therefore money than what you would have through the likes of Naughty Dog, where famously they're wasteful, and Ghost of Yotei, where, you know, they're clawing money back, but it's in a kind of very risky environment. This should be Bluepoint, should be representative of the least risky aspect of your game's development, because they're a proven commodity. They're working against proven assets and products in previous games, and they're doing it with like gusto. You know, like I'm going off on one here. The PS5 launched with Demon Souls as like a flagship title. That was how much credibility was in that release, And also, it took a very long time before anything came out that even touched the sides of what Demon's Souls was putting out in terms of like performance and capacity of what the PS5 can do. What I don't get here is this tells me that Sony have no confidence in that approach to developing games. Either it's because they see it as a kind of asset that they can cruft off and lose because it's maybe not as profitable as it may be, or they're just rolling in so much cash, which is obviously not the case, that they can afford to just basically prioritize these kind of really, really highfalutin AAA games in a way that they otherwise wouldn't have. This tells me that their portfolio is shifting in a way that feels a little bit kind of delicate. Like they're clearly not as kind of well-to-do and well-off as they would have you seem, in spite of the fact they've got fuck all competition from Microsoft, for example.
Right.
The other thing...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go on. Do you want to come in?
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, it's Sony's making some weird choices lately, because didn't they also... I don't think this is in our notes for today, but they also were pulling back from releasing games on PC.
Yeah,
which...
that was like on the verge of being our the third thing we were going to talk about. Yeah,
but like
we can talk about it here. Yeah,
I think it fits in here as well, just because like why? Like I would think, and I don't have numbers for this, but it seems like that should be something with not a minimal investment. Like I'm sure that it takes a significant amount of time and resources and money to do such a thing, but in relation to how much they would make from that kind of effort, it seems like it would have been like something that would not be the first on the chopping block, you know?
Yeah. I was thinking about that a lot too, because like you've got this shift now. So it looks like with what they're saying, and I'll throw a link to the story up in the show notes too, that how they're shifting focus back from, multi-platform to like exclusives. And I wonder how much of that is reactionary to like the basically Xbox coming out and confirming their next console is a PC. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like do they been like, oh wow, we really have a market to corner now? Like, this war is officially over. But I mean, that's been over for like what feels like the better part of 6, 7, 8 years at this point.
A while, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's very like wouldn't Bluepoint then be like a huge asset in that market? You own this 100%. Remake studio, and you don't have to farm out to anybody else. Like you're doing it all in house, and you can only play it on the PlayStation, whatever. Like, seems like a win, man. I don't know.
Probably is just a natural reaction to not being able to produce something. Like imagine how much money was wasted in this God of War. Like, I'm gonna call it like a prototype, only for it to be shit canned. Like. Yeah. It stinks. Like it really does. And the big thing for me is like, if I was working on, let's take a couple of them. Fire Sprite, so the guys who made Horizon Call of the Mountain and Run Sackboy Run, or Bend, the guys who made Days Gone, or fucking I don't even know, Media Molecule. The guys who made all of this kind of like
Dreams and
Little Big Planet, Terror. These like prototypical games that really push the technology in an interesting way in a market now where there is no demand for kind of innovation in technology because Microsoft aren't competing. And the big one for me is Housemarque, because they're about to release Saros, and if this doesn't sell like gangbusters, they're probably up shit creek. Like I've got a feeling.
Wild. Yeah, it's wild, man.
I also kind of wonder. And I don't know, maybe this is just me being ignorant about how these things work, but I kind of wonder why they wouldn't have sold Bluepoint instead of shuttering it. As such a proven commodity. It's not like they were hemorrhaging money and also putting out questionably received games. Like, this was a good studio, and while I guess they had their reasons, behind the scenes, if it was something financial, then make that money off of them, and let them keep doing something for a different company. I don't know who would have bought them, because Xbox is in a position,
so I instantly thought Konami, honestly, because I'm like, you're getting back into making games. Hey, wouldn't it be awesome if we had a complete remake? I mean, granted, that Metal Gear Solid Delta was pretty fucking good, so like they know what they're doing. Yeah. But like, here, just take Castlevania, remake all of them, pick the ones you like. You know what I mean? Like, take one of our Contra. You want to give Contra a shot? Like, let them pick or whatever. That was the one that immediately came to my mind. But
I think, there is precedent for this, isn't there? Because IO Interactive bought themselves back off. I mean, they bought themselves out of a contract. Same with Bungie, didn't they, from Microsoft?
Yep.
But there is massive production companies like Saber Interactive who did go on a. I mean, I don't know how successful that company is in pumping them out, but it's just the. It's the liquidation of a beloved company that stings so much. It's right, well. Yeah. I'm gonna it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. I'm gonna burst my own bubbles. I'm gonna smash my own birthday cakes and nobody can enjoy it, kind of thing. It's you spiteful son of a bitch. You rotten humans.
Yeah, it does really seem like it's so funny, and I this is not an original thought. It was a comment on a Blue Sky post, and I can't remember who said it, so please, this is not my original thought, but how is Sony the clearest console winner in 20 years feeling like they're about to stop making video games? You know what I mean? It's like they won by every observable metric between the non-Nintendo consoles, right? They're the game that's in town, and it feels like they're drowning. It's the weirdest thing.
What if Nintendo bought them? That'd be interesting.
That'd be amazing. I mean, couple of things. I get the feeling that this is just about, the landscape of consoles, the generation life cycle is so long now that we just have to find efficiencies. We've just got to somewhere. And unfortunately, we may, let's be sort of kind about this. It might just be a case of them saying, listen, we, don't hate you, but actually you've got nothing on the books because of some pretty wretched decisions made by Jim Ryan a couple of years back. Unfortunately, you're the first on the chopping block. The only thing that I can hope is that the actual talent behind the studio do kind of cluster together and actually form something. So they're based out of Austin, Texas. Gearbox are there, some of this talent could go all over the place to support different places. I mean, Gearbox, fucking A.
I know, but still, I know what you mean, though. You don't want those people,
id
are
there,
separated.
Austin? Or was that Dallas? I can't remember. Somewhere in Texas.
What's that?
I don't know. Texas.
Software?
Oh, it was shit. I think it might have been Dallas, but somewhere in Texas. Yeah. It's all the same.
Yeah, potato.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest state in the union.
Exactly. It's bigger than the entirety of the UK.
Bigger, but yes.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But close.
Well, it feels like every episode we're saying good luck to the people somewhere, but you know what I mean? Good luck to the people at Bluepoint, and hopefully we see some work out of that one, crew later on.
This one hurts, though, because this is a very specific type of development. This is we are experts in remaking beloved games that are very difficult to play.
Bloodborne.
No. And who's going to want to pick that up? Because this is all about the IPs that they were building against, which are honestly owned by Sony.
Yeah.
So, God, this just sucks.
Yeah. It all fucking sucks. So let's move on to maybe the one positive of our positive story, should I say, is good video games are still coming out and they are selling a shit ton of copies. So I guess where I kind of want to start here is since we've last recorded, the two highest reviewed video games of 2026 so far, and are both, if you even count it in all the games of 2025, they're both in the top 10, have released and are selling a fucking ton of copies. First one would be, no surprise, at Resident Evil 9, which is sitting at a 92 on OpenCritic, and they're saying that they've already sold 5 million copies of that game. So according to Video Games Chronicle, they were over 5 million sales, and this was as of March 4th, so 4 days ago, time of recording. Does this surprise anybody that it's this much for Resident Evil? That seems even for me, who was gonna get it right at the beginning, and I got it, I played it. We could talk about that another time, but that seems large even for Resident Evil. That's fucking unbelievable.
I don't think I'm surprised. It's it's been pushed so much, and also it has Leon Sexy Kennedy in it. Except now he's got hot dad energy, and
does he?
Yeah. Listen, I bought both of the games that we are going to play, and to no one's surprise, I have started neither of them. Although I have not put either of them on the shelf because I definitely at least want to play Resident Evil very soon. It's just that I am not where I need to be in Mother 3 yet. But we're sided note that. Yeah, I mean, I think that they really put together a fan favorite type of thing here, because not only is it a Resident Evil game, which are popular on their own, it's also a character coming back from a game that everybody loves, and you know, I don't think I'm surprised. Is what I will end on there. It's also kind of funny that we're kind of doing a repeat of was it 2020 when Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing came out on the same day? This is the same damn thing. So
very, very similar energy, that's for sure.
Bought both. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't buy Animal Crossing. I was gonna say I bought both of those too, but I didn't. So,
never So, Rich, have you also acquired Resident Evil, or are you holding on? I know you've been busy.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not like a Resident Evil guy, unfortunately. I've played a lot of them.
But you brought us Robert Kendo.
I know, because he's iconic. Robert Kendo is an iconic sexist.
Yep.
Don't worry about that.
They really tried
Canadian
to redeem
sexist.
him in the remake.
I know.
They
I know.
really did.
You can't redeem what they put out in 1998.
I'm just a good father. You sure you don't want to hit on her a couple more times before she goes through?
Yeah. No. But what's interesting about it is, am I surprised? No, not really. We're in that part of the, lifespan of the current generation where you should be maximizing profitability. And you should be releasing banger after banger after banger. So there's a great appetite for this kind of thing. I've not played the game. I've seen a little bit of footage about it, and I can see why it's so intriguing. And that game series carries so much clout. But what's fascinating for me is it's coming right in the mixture of just so many bangers. At the moment, that I'm surprised it's actually managed to corner that much of the market space. It just goes to show how good Capcom are at both marketing and actually releasing quality titles.
Yeah, I think you both hit the nail on the head there too, because Leah's right, as you just said, the way they marketed Rich, and then Leah's right. It's been in our face. I mean, it was like Summer Game Fest, Game Awards, Sony presentation. It's been at everything, just as a reminder. Hey, this game's coming. It's real soon. Hey, this game's coming. And as the only person that's played it, I would obviously not spoil anything for you guys, but it absolutely feels like an answer to when Resident Evil came out. Everybody was like, this is fucking awesome. I wish it was a little bit more actiony like the old Resident Evils, but it's still good. And then Resident Evil 2 remake comes out and said, this is fucking awesome. I wish it was a little bit more scary like 7 and 8, but it's still fucking incredible. And they're like, oh, okay, you just want both of those things? Here you fucking go. And it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You make it was really kind of a delicious marriage there. I don't like that phrase at all. Delicious marriage.
I do.
It reminds me of creamy hamstrings.
Oh, stop! I knew somebody was going to say that.
So Resident Evil, and as one of the 5 million, I'm not surprised. Really look forward to talking to you guys about it when you get a chance to play it. And then the other game, as Leah already mentioned, is a polar fucking opposite, but the reports coming out of Bloomberg is that this has become the Switch 2 seller is Pokemon Pokopia.
Man, I'm fucking excited about playing this game because it looks like Stardew, but with Pokemon and a fucking creeper of a main character. So that's what I want.
That Ditto person.
That Ditto is
real
fucking
abomination.
creepy. Have you ever seen people putting the Ditto face on like putting it onto pictures of actual people? Because it's nightmare fuel. It really is. Just photo editing in a Ditto face over a normal human face. I don't like that at all.
The beadiest of beady eyes,
nope,
just staring
it's bad.
from their cold dead husk at you. That game only came out the past Thursday. If you're listening to this on Monday, so there's no sales figures in for this yet, but the going kind of conversation, the word on the street, we're out there pounding the pavement, chasing down leads, is that like people who hadn't bought a Switch 2 yet, this is the one that they're like, it's like Animal Crossing, and my kids will like it and I'll like it. Great, we're getting a Switch 2 now, which isn't surprising, but like in a launch year where the Switch didn't feel like it had too much, like, I mean, they had Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, but like neither of those felt like they caught in the same way like Mario Kart 8 and Mario Odyssey did, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to see this now, like now that they have the Pokemon, like there are people saying, hey, the kids are saying Pokemon is back. So
wow.
Yeah,
this was the title that took it there. That is
right. Isn't that weird? Yeah. I guess. So, like, why are we talking about this now, right? Like, so what's the story? These two games come out and they're good. Like, I think it's really interesting because the prior video game success, like sales success that we talked about before these games was Arc Raiders, right? Like, Arc Raiders sold a shit ton of copies, kind of broke all these records for like multiplayer stuff. And now that we are talking, the Bungie looter, or what are they called? Jesus Christ, extraction shooter Marathon is out, which I do not have, but like this was kind of like, oh, these games are going to be like the biggest games. But like in 2026 you've had obviously Resident Evil, you've got Pokemon Pocopia, you've got Mugenics, which is only a PC strategy game, and that's over 2 million copies sold now. Like the biggest games of the year so far are single player focused. Now I know there's multiplayer like aspects of Pocopia, but it's not like the thing. You don't have to have an online connection to play. You know, it's an Animal Crossing, it's a Stardew Valley, it's a Viva Pinata, whatever you want to describe it as. Like, do you think this has any measurable impact on the games that developers will, or big companies, big developers will try to make, or do you think they will all still chase the white whale that is the Fortnite of the world?
I don't know. You know, it for a while, especially I'm thinking like maybe around last year. You know how every time there was a direct or a any kind of showcase for any of the big consoles, what you saw was like 75% farming cozy Sims. Now, I say that not to say that I think those are bad games, but for a while it was really, really the trend. And this is kind of coming off of the heels of that. So I don't know what that means about going forward. I feel like this kind of is the culmination of something that happened before. And I don't know that we're going to go back to that. I feel like there's more of a chance that most bigger companies are going to chase that Resident Evil high than the Pocopia high. Because the Pocopia thing is specifically Nintendo. Like, this is a very Nintendo game. I cannot see this surviving on any other platform, really. So I don't know. It's possible that that's
interesting. I think you're right, but I hadn't considered that, but I think that is true.
I'm remembering like a couple of years ago in, you know, like the Summer Game Fest and everything, where it was just every other game was that. So I don't know. Maybe they finally did it in a way that lands with most people who are playing it, which it doesn't seem like a lot of the other ones did. So that's a good thing. I'm looking forward to it in a way, because not just in a way sounds like I'm surprised, but I'm not. I just keep thinking of those dead eyes, man. That's just that. Yeah. I'll get over it, but I won't.
At one point, you can get the ability of a scyther to chop wood and logs and stuff, and your Ditto's arms just turn into fucking Baraka like swords. And you just chop shit. It is terrifying. But yeah. Rich, do you think this does anything, or is this like, oh, cool, we sold 60 million copies? How can we sell 16 million skins a month? Like, you know, do you think like that? Yeah. Companies still chase that?
I mean, the only observations that I can make are pretty obvious ones. Well, number one, it demonstrates that for strong IPs with kind of innovation in there. There's an appetite for largely single player games. Like who knew? Like this has always been the world's worst kept secret. But I think really, when I think about like service games, I'm a massive kind of not like pessimist, like a nasty pessimist about like a lot of these things, but actually service games are like a sign of the culture of development. Like there is a sort of like, we talk about like releasing and minimum viable product and all that sort of stuff. They are what they are because of the cost of developing games and the pledge to basically release something that you can then invest yourself in, and presumably you're going to invest your money in throughout its kind of stages and life cycle and all that sort of gubbins. So I don't think live service games are going to go anywhere. I think they're going to continue to be released just purely because that's the easiest way to release games rather than there's a market for them. But what I do hope is that it basically takes the edge off it and they go, okay, let's drive the scope down. Let's focus a little bit more on like the innovation side of our game rather than how we're going to make as much fucking money as possible from the play. Right. Like there needs to be a redress in the balance, in my opinion, and hopefully this is the kick up the arse that people needed to go and do it.
Yeah, I mean, because we have had a couple recent high profile successes and failures there, right? Like we've had, Arc Raiders I already mentioned, and then Marathon seems to be off to an okay start. From the numbers that I saw, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you also had, Concord, obviously there was that, but the High Card, they're in their final month. They're just rolling everything out and saying, hey, play with it for a month, and then it's going away forever. It's just like the risk and reward, I guess. It just seems 99% risk at this point.
I just think there needs to be more intelligence in the where I think the conversations need to happen is in the investment side of things. Like if you're getting an investment from a Kickstarter, for example, if it's directly with your consumer, or you're getting it from a private investor who's like, oh, I think I know what games are popular in year -3 when I'm originally investing. It's Helldivers, it's Apex Legends, so now spend the next 3 years making those games. Like those conversations need to be had up front and center, and somebody needs to sit there and look at the trend and go, we've had 15 clones of Apex Legends, or we've had 30,000 cozy farming simulators released in Steam in the last year. Like, we cannot continue to invest in this way. Let's try and work out how to either find alternative methods of investment or find wiser ways to deal with it so that people with the talent aren't restrained or aren't constrained and aren't trying to actually develop games that are never going to sell. Because it's just depressing watching them come out and they're in like a reasonable format, but there's just no market for them.
Yeah. It is interesting, too, because I was reading a couple comments today about Marathon and how that's going. And it's got decent numbers and stuff, but like one of the interesting things is that what people are saying very early on, obviously this could change, but like nobody's even attempting those friendly interactions that happen in Arc Raiders, where it's like, don't shoot, friendly, like you work together. Like in Marathon, it's a Bungie shooting game, right? Yeah. So you see something moving, you fucking pull the trigger. Like that's, and like, so what I've heard is that like, yeah, it's really fun and it shoots well, but it doesn't have that kind of extra thing that makes Arc Raiders special to so many people, which I think is cool. I don't play it, but I think it's fucking rad that it like shapes the ways players interact, and like you could really fuck somebody over and be a shithead, or you could be really cooperative and try to shepherd people. Like, I like the idea of that, even though it's not a game for me. Marathon, it again still doing well. I'm not shitting on it. I hope it does well because I want the people at Bungie to remain hired. But yeah, it might not have that kind of secret sauce or whatever.
Oh, it's so difficult to try and sort of like zero in on what the rot is in gaming at the moment, isn't it? I'm so glad I'm not an analyst for this type of stuff. It just drives us nuts.
Yeah. Speaking of analysts, a lot of these numbers and the engagement stuff, for those of you who are on Blue Sky, should go follow one Matt Piscatella over there. He always got like newest trends and analysis and stuff. It's really interesting to read his stuff because it's strictly from a numbers point of view, and I'm way more of an emotion and feels type of guy. So to see it broken down in just cold hard numbers, sometimes I feel like it helps my understanding of all of this stuff, even though I'm still about infantile understanding of it all. Well, we were talking about changes happening, and we were talking about kind of people in decision-making positions in games. So it seems time that we can bid a fond farewell and a hearty fuck you to Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond over at Xbox. They are out as the leaders of Xbox. The way it was worded officially is Phil is retiring. Sarah Bond has resigned.
Sure he is. Sure he is. Yeah.
Yeah. After she definitely wasn't gearing up to take that job, so I'm sure she wasn't disappointed. And they have brought in a new CEO, and I'm going to kind of bury that lead for a second. We'll talk about her in a minute. Were you guys ever tricked? Not tricked. Tricked sounds way too combative. Were you guys? But that's the way. I shouldn't say it's not an emotional thing for me. I'm not like a fanboy in that sense. I want the consoles to succeed. But like when Phil Spencer took over for the Xbox One, in where like Xbox was down, right? Like they were out. Xbox is a TV, all that shit, the Don Matrix stuff. Like he really did kind of represent himself as a bit of an everyman, kind of a, hey, I just like games. You know, I've been in this industry for a long time. I want to bring Xbox back to where it was. And I'm not saying that I ever like bought into whatever his corporate vision was, but like,
if the question is, were you tricked into liking Phil Spencer? Then my answer is yes, I was. Okay, I actually thought he was pretty, like, I respected that. I thought he actually had the best interests of Xbox in mind, and I would like to formally say I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was naive. I did like Phil for a while. Yeah, I mean, he wears a video game shirt under his blazer. Like, what else is not to like?
He had real like cool substitute teacher energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they're here for the day. We're all just pals. You know what I mean? Oh, but seriously, if you don't get your homework done, I'm going to smack you. But no, but seriously, we're just cool. We're hanging out.
Yeah, everything's great.
Like, so they're gone. And the way that these stories kind of unfolded was that Phil was retiring, aka moving on, however you want to put it. And Sarah Bond, who was the heir apparent, was being let go, so she resigned, and then we'll move on, assuming she will get some other job where she makes an obscene amount of money to do jobs I don't understand.
God, it's always there's no justice, is there? Like, God, if only... Yeah. God, her life's just going to go from worse to worse. I'm sure she goes from corporate executive job to corporate executive job.
Yeah, it's a bit wild, but I mean, he really was the face of that company through, Xbox Series X, and there were times where it felt like they were getting it together, right? Like Game Pass started hugely popular and people liked it a lot. It seemed like the Xbox Series X is a good console. Like, it came out and did what you wanted it to do. It wasn't anything other than a game console. Like, it felt like they were on the precipice, but the games never really materialized. A lot of cancellations, a lot of closures. And so unfortunately, when I look back on Phil Spencer's legacy or whatever, like, I'm going to think about this last act a lot more than any other part of it. You guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I think so. It's just, I mean, I think it's hard to overcome what you leave with, like if he had tapped out while people still had a pretty positive opinion of him, then maybe it would be different, but he didn't. So this is what we've got.
So this brings us to our new Executive Vice President of Microsoft and CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Asha Sharma is her name, and a lot has been said about her. It's interesting. She's been with Microsoft for quite a while. She comes from their AI division, which immediately raises some... I call them very necessary red flags.
Middle fingers?
Rich,
it raises my middle finger.
Yeah. Rich, what do you think about this appointment? Are you as concerned as I am?
I don't even fucking know, man. I mean, the first thing is about this headline is Asha Sharma named Executive Vice President and CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Like, that itself, like, just the branding of Microsoft Gaming is telling to me, isn't it? This is not This is not a brand. This is not a competitor. This is just a gaming arm of Microsoft. And I think this is where Phil Spence really struggled throughout his entire career, trying to convince I don't even know how Microsoft set up the Azure cloud servers and Microsoft Office branch of Microsoft that gaming was a real viable and necessary thing to be in and lead the market on. This just feels like the kind of corporatization of something that is obviously, I don't even want to say unique, but like, you know, meaningful to a lot of different people. So it just already reeks of, hey, look, this is just try and get somebody who's culturally more aligned with what we're trying to achieve at a strategic level than Microsoft, probably from an AI background, because, yeah, why not? I mean, I don't immediately want to jump to conclusions that this person's somehow going to come in with like a kind of bias towards the nastier, more pervasive side of AI and, you know, generative language and stuff like that. But goddamn, this does feel a little bit kind of awkward and uncomfortable, and that's probably speaking to why we're all sort of tugging our collars at this appointment. But do we know anything about her? Do we know anything about like her legacy and her previous stuff?
I just excuse me. That's a cough laugh, a laugh-induced cough. So Kotaku ran an article. John Walker wrote an article. This was published on February 23rd about how about 5 months ago the new Xbox CEO or Microsoft Gaming CEO Ash Sharma recorded a video talking about how she's concerned about the declining birth rates.
Oh no!
And suggested, not under the radar, that AI can help. And
with birth rates.
And this is the name of this video is called "The Rise of the Agentic Society." And it's real close to eugenics. I mean, like it flirts, you know. It's
love a bit of eugenics.
No, you love mugenics. You know, you don't like eugenics.
Sorry, Freudian slip.
I don't know if any of us have played that. So like. I'm very concerned, and what I'm not concerned because she's not a gamer. Like Reggie Fils-Aimé made pizzas, right? You know what I mean? Like these people are business people; they're running business. Like what I'm more afraid of is like what will they do with the data that they gather from Xbox users, and what learning models will they plug that into? That's powered by Microsoft's AI, and what will they do with said information? Like that whole thing just feels like I'm covered in fucking slime. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Can I read from
this
the
article that you posted? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Please, Rich, go ahead.
Yeah.
From the excerpt. So she's describing a job. She says, "My first job is simple. Understand what makes this work and protect it." Okay, cool. And then it reads, "Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Unforgettable characters, stories that make us feel, innovative gameplay, and creative excellence. We will empower our studios." Okay, cool. That sounds good. Invest in iconic franchises such as and bring back bold new ideas. We will take risks. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value, grounded in what players care about most. Now, honestly, that's not a bad sentiment to me. I think that's obviously like what I would want to hear from somebody who's setting out a strategic vision for what they want to do. But I'm not entirely sure that it's grounded in reality is the thing. Like, I don't think they've got the actual, the substance behind them to be able to actually push forward with some of this kind of thinking.
Yeah, the legendary franchise stuff really does worry me, because the next thing we know about from Halo is just the Halo 1 campaign remake, which is coming to PlayStation, which, whatever, that's smart for them because they can sell a lot more copies, right? And there is a new Gears of War game announced, but
cool.
that we haven't heard anything about it, and it goes back to Marcus and Dom before. It's a prequel, like if the future of the hit franchises are just older versions of your used to be hit franchise, like, man, I'm not, and maybe Fable is fucking legendary and it's gonna change everything. I hope it does, man. But like, I'm not enthusiastic. I'll tell you that.
Is it just me, or does this feel like a Phil Spence sort of quote, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're looking at her her green zip up with the track jacket cuffs. Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from this, the AI generated CEO, I'm sure that we're for you.
God,
what were you gonna say, Leah?
Nothing. I'm just looking at the AI fertility rates article, and
oh my god,
oh boy, this is. Sharma goes on to give examples of this, like how she's heard of a hospital in London that's using AI to improve the fertility success rate of IVF. Great, sure, that would be great.
Okay,
the amazing story of how ChatGPT-5 is, quote, helping in healthcare, and how Stanford was a big customer of hers using AI for, quote, tumor reviews. I don't want AI determining whether or not I have cancer. Thanks.
Yeah. Anybody who reads Google's AI summaries,
I would like a doctor to do that for me, please.
Those are not accurate. Yeah, it just this whole idea, it really, and not to get, this goes way too deep, but like at some point you're attempting to play creator, God, whatever you want to call it, and I don't want individual humans in charge of that either. No one should be in charge of how society evolves and develops. Like it borders on scary supervillain power stuff for me.
Can I read one more part about this? I don't want to, but I think it's important.
Yep.
Okay, in an interview on a podcast from 5 months ago, says that the thing she thinks about most, other than GPUs, is whether her son, quote, will have classmates in the future. This is because, she says, fertility rates are declining. The average birth rate in the 90s when we were growing up was like 3, and now it's 2.3, and in 2050 it's estimated to be below a replacement. This is strange on its own, and also completely wrong, but her next words make it far weirder. Quote, I think that AI can have such a big effect on it, and already is. So not only is she spouting incorrect statistics, she's also saying, hey, you know what can help other than, people having an okay living wage, that they are comfortable bringing another child into a family with, is AI, actually, because my kid needs to have classmates, I guess.
It's gonna fix it.
That's how that works.
Fix it. Yeah.
Hopefully what she's making reference to is people who voluntarily want to have children, but the way it reads is though like Microsoft is going to fix the declining birth rates of the country. Like, sod the government, right? That's not their concern. We, a private company, are going to fix all the world's woes. This is getting very dystopian. But I mean, I'm hoping that behind the constraints of a video game company, like, she can't espouse some problematic nonsense about her birth rates and stuff like that. Unless we get like a birth simulator game, I don't know.
According
Microsoft
to
Birth
Copilot,
Simulator, brilliant.
If we put a bunch of pregnant women into vats and stored them in a warehouse, we could take their babies out before birth, and those babies will be the bridge to the future. We'll call them BBs or bridge babies.
Wait a minute.
And then, now let me talk to you about what strand economics are. It just like so. It just feels so grimy, excuse me, and I don't know anything about this woman aside from what I've read, obviously. We don't know what Microsoft's future plans are for Xbox, if there are any, other than just make games until we don't make money and then sell it all off. No idea. But it doesn't feel like, I'm not pumped about this new project, whatever the hell it's called, the next Xbox console.
Project Insemination. Sorry.
She checked. She like tweeted or skeeted something the other day that was like, the next Xbox console project, whatever, will play both Xbox and PC games. Like, basically just confirming it is what we already thought, that it's kind of like a hybrid PC.
Isn't that what an Xbox already is?
Like, what form does that come in? Does it matter at all? Or like, will we all just be playing Steam machines or not being able to afford any video games at all?
I think the console side of this is less interesting to me at this point, and it's whether or not they're going to walk back some of the commitments they made with Xbox Game Pass a long time ago, that everything will be available from day one. Because I don't think that's worked necessarily.
No, I don't think it's worked, and I also think that now with everything, like it's telling that people will be willing to pay full price for a game on PlayStation or Steam and not be willing to buy the Xbox to play it there day one for quote free.
How to tank your brand, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth that initial investment for a lot of people. So,
we'll find out more during presumably Summer Games Fest period, like the classic E3 when Microsoft do their announcement, and we get to meet Asher Sharma in a little bit more detail and figure out what's going on. I can only hope that she rocks up in a t-shirt.
Yeah, I hope so. Hexen t-shirt. I think we'll see a lot of Matt Booty around Summer Games Fest. That would be my guess.
I just like hearing his name.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Me too.
Moving on to our human interest story of the day, which is it's positive. It's a positive story, but it's just like, I think this is the fucking coolest thing in the world, even though this game super isn't for me. Recently, as of yesterday, Kotaku wrote an article saying that Slay the Spire, Polygon, wrote an article. Slay the Spire had over 400,000 concurrent players, breaking several records. And then today, Slay the Spire got to, I'll tell you right now, it's over 500,000. Slay. This is me typing. This is good for audio listeners.
While you're looking for that, I will say that this is extremely my jam. Because thanks to Rich, actually, I don't know that I ever would have played this otherwise, but I got super fucking into Slay the Spire, the original. Nice. I, however, think that I'm waiting for full release as opposed to early access. I'm gonna guess that probably the current version of Slay the Spire is not going to be that... I doubt that this is like an alpha, right? This is probably pretty much finished already.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's the second game. They will have a framework.
Yeah, exactly. I will probably wait on this, but I'm very pleased to hear that people seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah, so right now, as I'm speaking, it has 274,526 concurrents.
Nice.
But today, earlier in the day, it got up to 574,638. Over 500,000 people all playing Slay the Spire 2 at the same time. That's
crazy, isn't it?
There's some real hive mind shit at work there. The nerds just fucking all coming together. Myself, a giddy one of you. I just think that's the coolest fucking thing that has happened. So I looked up a couple other things. The most recent indie hit we talked about already today was Mugenics. So I looked and saw, I was like, what was their highest concurrent that they ever had? It was 130,000, which is still crazy. There were 60,000 people playing it today. You know what I mean? That game is popular and cool. But yeah, so that was really cool. But then this led me down my other path let's see. Marathon just came out this weekend. What was Marathon's concurrent players? And this is not fair because Marathon also came out on consoles. But Marathon currently has 77,000 players. With their peak over the weekend was 88,000 Steam concurrents. Do you think that's a bad sign, or do you think that because it's out on PlayStation, those numbers really don't mean anything? Or do you not care at all, which is also possible?
Is Marathon a full cost release?
$40.
I mean, that's probably a big factor, isn't it? Yeah. I don't want to over-intellectualize what it feels like a softball down the middle, which is, Marathon's probably not going to do well. But I think it's, a little bit of a different proposition, but goddamn, it's probably more to do with, the fact that it's a PC game. What's it called? Slay the Spire. And massive markets in, Eastern Europe and Asia, for example, in ways that there aren't for PlayStation 5.
So the other stat I wanted to give, so I thought those numbers were a little unfair because of what we all talked about for Marathon. So I was like, well, what was another big PC console game? I'm pretty sure Resident Evil came out on Steam. So I looked up. Sure enough, it did. Resident Evil peaked at 344,000 concurrent players.
Wow.
And currently, right now, there are 130,000 people playing Resident Evil. So that's almost double what are currently playing Marathon. on Steam.
Yikes.
This is not me shitting on Marathon for weird Bungie heads out there. I hope it lives forever and makes everybody happy. But like I looked at that and I was like, that's a $70 game right there. Yeah, double the cost, double the like. Again, it's Resident Evil. It's huge. So it just, to me, I was just like, man, because normally, like, so Marathon has 70,000 people playing it right now on Steam. Like for any other game, that is like, that's a fucking runaway success, right? Like it's awesome. Like look at your player base, all these cool things. But for what Sony's expectations of Marathon might be, like, does that put the? I don't know. I guess time will tell, right? But
I think. Yeah, I think
Right.
Personally, I think writing's on the wall. I don't want to damn it, because I want these games
neither.
to come out and do well. And I think Marathon looks kind of interesting, but like when I looked at what was that game that got released last year and like died within a week? Oh my
Concord?
God! Yeah, that's the Badger, isn't
You
it?
could be talking about several different things, which is part of the problem.
Yeah. Well, my finger hovered over the purchase Marathon button on my PlayStation yesterday night. I was like, I finished Resident Evil. I don't have like a big story game I'm into right now. I'm like, mate, like if I'm gonna go play this game, it's gonna be now. I talked myself out of it just because.
Does it even have a single player mode?
Well,
I don't think
so.
Does it? Yeah.
Do you have anyone else who's interested in it? That's
So,
the key.
My Helldivers buddies are not getting off Helldivers. They told me, they're like, we're gonna wait a while, wait till it goes on sale. I'm like, it's only $40. They're like, we're gonna wait a while. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not trying to sell you on it. Yeah,
this is something that I would almost guarantee will be on PlayStation Plus as one of the monthly games within a year.
I would think, maybe like a big shot in the arm leading into their second year of content, assuming
or if
it
they
makes
do
it,
like some kind of expansion or update or something. That's
a good shout. That's a good shout. But yeah, so congratulations to Slay the Spire 2, man. That I thought that was just so cool. Like when I saw over 500,000 people were all playing Slay the Spire 2 today, I'm like, man, the world is okay in some ways. You know what I mean? Like
nature is healing.
Some people know what the fuck they're doing with their lives. But yeah, so I was excited for them, and I hope their success continues. I hope early access goes just the way they want it. They're at 94% positive Steam reviews with over 26,000 reviews so far. So they're it looks like they're well on their way. So good for them. Now coming up is the weather forecast. Now we've had like two of the really big games come out. Oh, did I not put? Oh, I linked the wrong article, didn't I?
Yeah, but I put the regular one in.
You're the best. So we had two huge games kind of come out between the last time. So if we're looking forward from March 9th on, like anything really jumping out at you?
So there's one thing for me.
Okay.
And it's on March 12th, and it is the remake of Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly.
Oh, cool. I never played those, yeah.
Yeah, I never played Fatal Frame 2. My actual experience with Fatal Frame is not that expansive because they're kind of difficult to get a hold of in a, let's call it, official capacity.
What do you mean?
Nothing. I don't know why I said that, but Fatal Frame 2, the remake, I'm looking forward to it because I think that with the original being like a PS2 era game, I don't know how well the controls and that kind of thing will hold up, even if I did get a hold of a copy of it. So it would be nice to think that they've updated and maybe streamlined some of the things that might not have carried through as well as a more modern game. And yeah, I'm interested in that. So
yeah, that seems cool. Now, as someone who's played those games, Leah, would I need to play 1 to understand 2? Like if this comes out and cool. Cool. I do have a couple friends that are interested. On the same day, there is a Toxic Commando first-person shooter coming out. I do know some Trauma Video weirdos who are very excited to check that out.
I'd probably like that. I don't know that I'll get it right away. I might pop it on a wish list and like keep an eye on it. But
that feels like a PlayStation Plus for sure at some point. Cool. But like RoboCop. But hey, that RoboCop Rogue City game was great. It's a Saber. Excuse me. It's a Saber game, so it could be something pretty special. Rich, anything you're looking forward to?
Yeah, 2. I'll go from one niche to one big hitter. So on When is it? March 25th. Damon and Baby, which is an Arc System Works isometric shooter platformer that got a showcase on one of the, I think it might have been the Game Awards or something like that. It looks pretty cool. It's got the sort of nice, the nice kind of Arc System Works classic art style. So I don't know if I'm going to pick it up straight away, but it's something to keep an eye out if it dips.
I don't remember ever seeing this. This looks really neat. That's cool. Thanks for putting me onto that.
And the second one is probably the most ambitious game of the last sort of year, if you were to believe Jay Taylor. It's March the 19th. Crimson Desert comes out. Now, this is from the makers of Black Desert, I think it's called, the Korean studio that made the JRPG. And this, like, I mean, look at any of the gameplay footage of this game. It looks like one of the most ambitious sort of open world RPGs I've seen in a very, very, very long time. And it's interesting that nobody is kind of competing. Like, it's been given a wide berth by the rest of the industry. So, God, I think this could be an important one.
Yeah, I'm like, part of me wants that game to come out and be like a 98, universally beloved, stone cold, fucking stunner of a video game. But another part of me, like, if it came out, it was like 73, and it's like, man, this game is broken in so many ways, but it took some wild swings, I'd almost be more excited for it. You know what I mean? Like I think I'm in for the only way it doesn't, like, if it gets like a full mind's eye, like this game doesn't actually run, doesn't look, it'd have to be a disaster for me to not be real interested.
I keep looking at mind's eye, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
It has not gone on sale. It is still $70 on the PlayStation Network, and I'm
Leslie Benzies refuses to budge.
Now you're one of the people taking it down from the outside, Leah. You're one of the co-conspirators who led to its demise.
Something like that. I don't know.
Anecdotally, though, bringing it back to Crimson Desert. So, it's one of those games that the people who I know casually play games are talking about.
Really?
Like,
cool.
It feels like a deep cut, like, in many regards. But, like, if you look at any of the gameplay footage for this, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, holy shit, there's some real, like, crazy kind of depth of, like, not RPG in the kind of, like, capital RPG, which is a sort of definition of, like, what the gameplay is like, but as a role-playing game in which you are play a game and role-play, there's some real deep kind of innovations in there, so it looks cool as shit.
Well, I saw, like, the one trailer I watched, like, the one that Jay shared in the Caner and Slack, one of the, like, long, like, 12 minutes of, like, focuses on 3 different parts of gameplay, and it was showing combat, and it's like, you learn abilities from enemies you defeat. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. The one thing, the guy was, like, harpooning around and, like, doing all these really acrobatic things. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty rad. And then it just cuts to a screen of a dude who had built and is piloting his own mech. I'm like, what is going on? There's a fucking, there's full mech suits in this game.
In a sword and board RPG, yeah.
And then it said the main character's name is Cliff, and I'm like, I am fucking in, man. I am so in for this game. Yeah, it could have, like, I think you're right, Rich. It really does have the potential to be something noteworthy. Yeah, I'm excited.
Rich, have you played, not to, like, wrench us off of Crimson Desert, but
no.
Have you ever played any of the Monster Hunter? I mean, Brian, you too, but I know Rich is more of a Monster Hunter fan in general. Have you ever played any of the Monster Hunter Stories games? Are they good?
I think on the either Wii or Wii U, maybe, or even 3DS, there was a Monster Hunter Stories that was like a kind of Akira Toriyama kind of style, like choose your own adventure in the style of oh my god, what was that studio that made The Walking Dead? Oh, another one that went
Telltale.
Yeah, like a Telltale game. So I played a little bit of those, but never really sort of followed up on it. But I mean, they must be doing well because they keep releasing them.
Yeah, well, the third one comes out on March 13th was why I ask. And I've never played any of those games, but they seem like I might like them.
Yeah, I'm going to look up just because, I mean, not only do we have the time, but I want to see what the last Monster Hunter Stories reviewed at. And it's got an 81 on Metacritic. Like, so these games are relatively well received. Are they, do you know, do either of you know, is it just a true JRPG, or is it like Pokemon when you're like, instead of hunting monsters, you're collecting? Like, do you guys know what those
I don't
games
know.
are?
Unfortunately, not. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. It might be worth it. I know they were 3DS games, right, to start.
I believe so, but I think they got
Yeah.
a port to the Switch.
Oh, cool.
Makes
I
sense.
believe. I think.
that would make a lot of sense,
Yeah.
especially knowing this one's coming up. Yeah, that could be something really cool. I didn't even clock that was coming out. So cool. Yeah, that's it for me. Unless you guys have anything else you really want to talk about before we get going.
Not for me.
That's a big old no.
I was going to say, it depends how
Just
deep you
got
want to
quiet
get.
for a second. Again, great podcasting, guys. Well played.
We are masters of our medium, that's for sure.
True.
So that just leaves me, Brian Edwards, to thank you guys. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Leah, for being here, for making this recording happen. It was there was a lot that got in the way of this happening, and we managed to do a 3-person
Life sure
recording.
do be lifing lately.
It sure does. So we're awesome. We're awesome. We're awesome.
yeah.
We
I'm
are
modest
thankful.
and humble.
You are awesome for listening. You can get us on any podcast feed. We're over on YouTube. The show will be up on YouTube as well, the audio version. A couple people have asked me that we've actually gotten YouTube comments about when are we going to do video podcasts, and the answer is maybe never, maybe next time. Well, we haven't talked about it, but we might. Who knows?
Oh, you
I
want
don't
to
know.
see my mug? God, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst
Oh,
enemy.
that's not fair. I would have to put on makeup and shit. You guys don't
What
have
if-
to do that.
Yeah,
What
I
if we
do.
did? What if we made our own VTubers?
Ooh, I like that.
Let me see if there's an easy way. That would be hilarious.
Brian,
but,
Brian,
yes, sir.
before you move on, do you just want to tell us a little bit more about what happened in your new series, Retro Rodeo? I know you plugged it at the beginning, but where we at? How did the test go?
So the test went great. We ranked 3 games. They were an appropriate mix of funny and entertaining, which was nice. Although the third game I had to rank was 5 and 1, which was chess, checkers, Othello, and 2 other board games on the Sega Game Gear.
man.
So
How do you even rank? Do you rank them individually? Do you rank
I
the
play-
whole package? Whoa.
you rank the whole package and you just judge them game by game. Like, how do they feel? As you can imagine, a lot of science bleeds over.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
we
a
are
very-
scientists. I mean, people might not know that if they only listen to the news, but
So-
not only
so-
are we newsmen, we are also
Yes.
scientists.
So what I do, I use a random number generator to pick from the 10 consoles. Then I see how many games are in that console's library. Then I use the random number generator again to find out which one I'm playing. So a bit of a tease for the next episode. Thank you for leading me into this wonderful marketing opportunity, Rich. Is that I play another 3 games in episode 1, and there will be a bonus video going up of me going back to one of those games and beating it because I liked it so much.
Holy cow.
So yeah. So stay tuned for that. And I'm already recording the 3rd episode because, as it turns out, I can record them kind of in small chunks at 1 game at a time, and playing old video games that a random number generator selects for you. That's a pretty fucking fun thing to do. Sounds like something that I would do without recording it. So, it's really cool. It'd be awesome if you watched it. Just because that will give me the enthusiasm to keep making them. It's a lot of fun. So thanks.
Sweet.
Leah Haydu, anything else from your camp?
No, I'm. That's no.
No.
I was gonna say I'm gonna try and stream some stuff or make some videos as well, but I don't know that I'm actually gonna do that, so I won't promise anything. But I am thinking about it. If you would like to know what's going on in my brain,
That sounds good. Rich, anything for tell the people before we get out of here?
Cane Rinse. I think we're all on some Cane Rinses recently. We've got for me, I've got Mother 3 coming up, which is the finale of the Mother series. So I'm looking forward to that. A little bit nervous. That's a game that's a little bit bigger than what I thought, and we've got a lot of kind of reading to do in preparation for that. And then I don't know. Have you guys got anything coming up?
We're going to be, I'll be on the Returnal podcast, which is the podcast that's after Mother 3. But then after that, I'm not on one until, what is that, May? Yakuza Dead Souls. How about you, Leah?
I'm also on Mother 3. That is my next show. I'm not sure what I have. I have something in between, but I am not looking at my schedule, so I could not tell you what that is because I have not.
I can tell you right
Mother
now.
3 yet. Oh, okay.
You will be a sleeping citizen playing
Citizen Sleeper. Yes, and Citizen Sleeper 2 also just came out, so I would kind of like to play that. Not necessarily for the podcast, obviously, but just for.
Oh, I well, when you're putting your thoughts together, let's have a conversation, because I know we played the first one together, and I've got some opinions on how that game is and what it does and the way that it does it.
I'm going to replay it. If you would like to sit in on any of that, you are welcome to do so.
That depends how frustrated you're happy for me to be during that recording.
We'll see. Yeah.
Well, so check us out on Cane and Rinse. Find us on Blue Sky. Go to YouTube, hit subscribe or whatever. I don't know how to market a YouTube channel, but do the things that you'd normally do on YouTube. And it just leaves me, your host, Brian Edwards, to say we read the stories so you don't have to. Stay ignorant, fandom.